Hi, my name is Adrianna Sosa, and I am a vice president on the board of the World YWCA. I am currently filming from Port-au-Prince, Haiti, and I'm going to share with you a bit of my story, as well as how I got involved with the YWCA movement. I was 11 when I first heard the term female genital mutilation. I didn't know what it meant at the time, but I couldn't tear myself away from a conversation that was happening between my grandmother and another woman discussing disturbing news from Congo. I remember being seated on the sofa in my grandma's antique shop and looking up to my mom and asking her, "What is that?" With empathy in her eyes, she started explaining to me that in some countries, girls' genitals were cut off for cultural or traditional beliefs, a practice aimed at controlling their sexuality and preparing them for marriage. I was absolutely shocked, and that summer I became obsessed with understanding female genital mutilation, devouring any news I could find from Congo, and then soon learning about that same horrific practice happening in countries like Ethiopia, Mali, Ghana, Cote d'Ivoire, and beyond. I fell into an insane rabbit hole of research, haunted by the thought that girls my age were enduring such cruelty. How could this be happening? How come nobody was talking about this? Why hadn't I heard about it in school or at church? That was my first introduction to what I now know as sexual and gender-based violence. When summer ended, life returned to normal: math, science, English, French classes, and your typical middle school drama. But there was one night in particular where I was seated in my grandma's bedroom on the floor, surrounded by my history textbooks, and I was excitedly sharing to her what I had just learned about the Great Pyramids of Egypt, and she hushed me and turned up the television. Breaking news flashed on the screen. Malala Yousafzai, 14-year-old Pakistani, has been shot by the Taliban for campaigning for girls' education. My grandma fell silent, her hand over her mouth, and I could see that there was grief on her face, but all I could think to ask was, "Who is Malala Gumi?" That night, I learned that not all girls were allowed to go to school. Some had to hide, cross dangerous fields, and risk their lives to attend class, and some, like Malala, were shot for it. The following summer, a friend of the family invited me to volunteer at my local YWCA in my hometown of Pétionville, Haiti. Up until then, I knew there was injustice in the world. I knew that health and education were not guaranteed for everyone, and I knew that violence against women was a global issue. But I thought it was something happening far away outside of my world. Through my volunteering work, I learned that it was actually happening closer to home than I imagined. It was happening in my country, my town, my church, and even my neighborhood. Essentially, the YWCA was my gateway to understanding and gaining consciousness about the different challenges that women and girls face around the world. It also showed me that there is actually a fight to end this violence and create a world where women and girls are safe. You see, the World YWCA's Goal 2035 envisions a future where power structures are transformed by the leadership of young women, ensuring gender equality for all women, young women, and girls so that they may be safe and live free from fear and violence in all its forms. I am passionate about the YWCA because it embodies this goal in so many communities around the world. From YWCA Greece in Europe, providing shelter to young women so that they may safely pursue their education, to YWCA Metropolitan Phoenix, building healthy, strong, resilient communities through their System Change Initiative, and my YWCA in Haiti, in the Caribbean, providing a safe space to girls so that they may do their homework, eat a healthy meal, and grow away from the violence in the streets. Of course, I have to mention all the young women YWCA leaders around the world using World YWCA tools such as the Safe Space Guides to create spaces for all those surrounding them, especially those facing trauma and violence. Over the past 10 years, I have been fortunate to witness the strength, resilience, and courage of women transforming power structures, and to take part in that transformation as a volunteer, team member, and board member. I have seen lives transformed and communities uplifted in the pursuit of social and gender justice. Through this work, I've truly understood the importance of putting people first, a philosophy that requires heart, mind, and soul. The YWCA has strengthened my conviction that the lived experiences of women such as Malala and those in Congo, though in different countries, different contexts, are all interconnected. These issues are part of global challenges faced by many around the world, and the World YWCA understands this and believes that achieving Goal 2035 relies on consistent, purpose-driven engagement and authentic investment in young women leadership. It's a privilege, but more so a duty for me as one of these young women to exert my leadership, push forward gender justice, and amplify the voices of those other young women that too often go unheard. I'm pleased to say that the World YWCA's engagement in ACT Alliance is a reflection of the YWCA movement's commitment to expanding, deepening, and enriching strategic partnerships within interconnected systems. It aims to do so through collaborations with partners who believe in the need for social transformation and support initiatives led by and for women, young women, and girls. You see, the focus is on gender justice, driving systemic change, and boldly addressing the root causes of gender inequities so that we may close the global gender gap. Today, I share this because hope is best shared through stories. Stories of resilience, courage, change, success, and even failure. Stories passed on by our ancestors. Stories like yours and mine. We are all storytellers at heart, and it's through sharing our stories that we connect, grow, and empower each other, mobilizing our hope into action. The YWCA has given me a platform to share my story, but also to listen to those of others. It's taught me that women's leadership isn't just about taking charge, but it's about lifting others up, transforming power structures, believing in young women's leadership, and creating spaces where every voice is heard and every story is valued. As I reflect on this decade-long journey, I invite you to discover your own of how you mobilize your hope into action. Use the World YWCA Storytelling Guide as I did to find your voice, share your experiences, and inspire others. Because when stories are shared, they help ignite and inspire powerful actions.